Welcome back to the next part of my Neograde Hyper Z Gundam. Please make sure you've watched the previous parts, otherwise this may not make a lot of sense because I'm just going to go straight into the parts and unboxing. I'll put the links on the description below. So, now that we've got everything out of the way, I showed you this last time round, but it's the first thing that pops up, so why not go through it again. This is the rather large shield of the Hyper Zeta Gundam, and I'm sure you can see there's some fantastic amount of detail here, and what I pointed out last time, I'll do it again, is the smouldering detail right at the tip here, and let's see if we can get this in focus for you. Right there, and there's also a very small seam line that goes all the way across right to the tip, and what I can tell you, even if this may not be showing up perfectly on camera, is it is dead straight, and the casting quality on this is very good. So I think you can see it quite well there. So thumbs up from me on the shield, and that's always one of those things that can get bent and may not be perfectly symmetrical, but in this case it really is very good quality. Alright, so I'm not going to be opening these bags, to be honest, because I'm not going to be doing a straight up sort of review and painting and building of this just yet. I'm going to leave this for a little while. So apologies for doing this inside of the bags, but I'll endeavour to do my best. Now, this one is of all the intricate parts, so I'm going to leave this last. I'm going to come back to this one. So, let's get on to the next one for you guys. Right. Okay, so I'll give you guys a quick overview so you get the... apologies for this, I can't actually back my camera up any more than this. So, you're going to get this bag here, which has 4 separate compartments. And these, by the looks of it, are the giant sort of leg armour parts, as well as, I think this is the crotch actually. But to show you here, I mean, these look pretty cool from this side, but if I could flip these bags around, there's details everywhere. So let me just do that for you very quickly. And look at that, that's pretty amazing in terms of what you don't get on a normal kit. So this is the reason why you would buy a resin kit. I mean, you just get some fantastic amount of details there, and all of these little thins are very sharply casted. Very sharp. There's no flash. There's a minimal amount of tiny work, I'd say, but even on these vents area, it's really cool. It's like a little hatch area. Really nice. So that's the bottom of the. I think that's the bottom of the feet, the bottom of the back part of the feet rather. So you'd see it like that. So you wouldn't even see all this normally, but that's one of the nice things that you're going to get. So moving on, these are I think some of the shoulder parts. So we'll flip that around. Yep. So. I always like things like this. I mean, there's a little bit of cleaner work, I suppose, but I do like it when they have this, moulded detail in some of the joints, even though it's probably, well, it's not actually really there. So I'm sure you can see there's a lot of really neat and crisp panel lines on some of these parts. Really nice. And this resin is heavy as well, so it's proper casted resin. And even on this little detail here, it's really nice. Okay, now we move on to some of the larger packs. This is no doubt something, I would believe that's the torso there. Yeah, that must be the torso. And quite an interesting design. So as you can see, the back end is quite blocky, but you don't see that. That's kind of where all the other parts are going to join on. But even there, you're going to get, I believe these might be some small locating pins, I'm not too sure, but you certainly get a few blocks and a few pre-drilled holes just to help you build this that much easier. So there are quite a few locating pins and areas already done for you, and this is the back of the head, or the back plating anyway. And some of these parts are really thin. And there again, as I was mentioning, you do get locating pins built in for you. So some really nice detail here as well, I think, and no doubt this is where some of the parts sort of join on. And what else have we got here? We've got a few skirt armour parts by the looks of things. And, one interesting thing I found with the with this kit is you get these pieces here, which are kind of like the ball and socket joints for the hips. So you peg that in that way, and then the leg kind of goes onto there. So perhaps you might be able to get a little bit of movement out of this. I'm not sure. You're probably meant to glue this, but I'm sure some better modelers than me can do some full articulation on this kit. But we'll see when we get onto that, I suppose. One of the disappointing things I may add on that I found with this kit is there's not really any YouTube videos, so that's why I wanted to get this done as soon as I got it. So it's definitely a good kit, really cool design, and I'd really like it if this video actually helps anybody see what alternatives there are out there aside from the the famous resin kits, your Kshatriyas, your Kamphas, your Evolved Sinanjus of this world. I don't see very many of this kit, so I would love to see some more of these reviews popping up. So that's the first main bag. Then I'm going to move on to this one, which is the big bulky one, and it's put on the bottom for good reason, I suppose. Now, look at the size of this leg armour. It's absolutely insane. I mean, there's my hand, and well, actually, I think these things are the size of my USB mouse almost. Yeah, they're actually bigger than my mouse. So there you go. They are some massive leg armour parts. Really thin on some sides as well, as I'm sure you can see there. So do be careful with that. I mean, literally the light is shining through that. But again, really good. I mean, look at the amount of seam lines all over this. really crisp. And then obviously these vented areas, you're going to be, well, by the looks of it, you're going to be doing some inserts in there. I'm not too sure, but yeah, lots of good detail nonetheless. Then we're going to move on to the back wings, and these don't fold out or anything, but you do get the the kind of effect of the secondary wing being tucked inside this one. But this is all obviously just a casted piece of resin, so no gimmicks there on the fold outs, I'm afraid, or at least I don't think so. Okay, so again, if I haven't said this about 10 times already, but there is some fantastic amount of seam lines which are all perfect and uniform. That you don't have. I don't think you're gonna have to do any rescribing or anything like that. Really nice to see. And obviously you get 2 of these wings. And then now I've been told that there's a version of this kit which does not come with the. It comes with the. It comes with its own sort of smart gun. Hold on, let me just get the photos again. It comes with its own smart rifle, which is basically sort of 2/3 the size of the Gundam. This one, which I believe is this. I think it's that one that he holds. But this version that I have, or I presume the newer versions will all have this, actually includes the Hyper. What is it called? The Hyper Mega Launcher. The the one that the Zeta actually carries. I think this one's been beefed up even more, but it is literally, when you put it together, it's this plus this plus this. So it's literally, well, it's going to be huge. It's going to be bigger than a perfect raid, that's for sure, when it comes out. So, and the other thing is it's very bulky as well. So, and there's a lot of parts to it. I think these are like the little side rails that go onto each side. But you'll recognise the Mega Launcher from this back end, so you know that's quite iconic. I think everybody knows about this magazine clip, and then these two bits on the Perfect Grade or Master Grade would flip out and fold out as handles. So it kind of looks like a bit of a crossbow, but that's the back end of it. And then even things like this as well, really appreciate things when they do little things like that on the inside, which you're probably not even going to see because you know, you'll get the rails that go across it. But nonetheless, this is why you spend the money to buy a resin kit. And there you go, all the nicely drilled holes there. Really big, bulky parts. And let's see if it's any different on the other side. Yep, you get more moulding detail on this side, and that is the rifle. So if you're getting this kit, do make sure it's the newer version and it comes with the Hyper Mega Launcher. So you get two guns with this kit, I think. You get the, unless the smaller gun, unless this one, the smaller gun actually gets fits into the Hyper Mega Launcher, but I don't think so. It looks like you get enough parts to make this, as well as the Hyper Zeta's Mega Launcher cannon. So that's that, and that, I'll try and zoom out again, that is effectively bag 2, so we'll put that to one side. And once again, I am going to stop right there because this video is getting on a bit, so I'll see you in the next part.